What's going on, FA Nation? John Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS Game Day Playbook Preview Show. We got 6 games here on a Thursday starting at 6:50 p.m. Eastern Time. James, 6 games, small slate, pitching, not great. Kind of rhymed a little bit.
A lot of bars.
A lot of bars.
Maybe a rap career in your future. I like the new background.
Thanks.
I like how you painted the wall. It looks nice.
Yeah.
Also kind of looks like Topgolf.
A little bit.
Like if there was like a red screen, like a Fantasy Alarm screen in front of your Topgolf, course, that'd be
it's my football background, but I couldn't find where the studio background went, so okay. we're live.
We're live on the Topgolf course.
Yeah, love Topgolf. Topgolf, a lot of fun.
Topgolf is a lot of fun. Topgolf is a ton of fun.
But we're gonna have a lot of fun talking 6 games of MLB DFS tonight, right?
Yes.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, pitching, as you mentioned, stinks. We could start there.
Yeah.
I do think like Yusei Kikuchi is a solid upside play. He's been really good as an Astro.
Good strikeouts.
A lot of strikeouts, right? And I think the Angels are a team that's hit better against lefties, but ultimately, they're not a good offense and do have a lot of strikeout equity attached to them. Luis Severino, not a lot of interest in 9K. And I mean, he has not been he's had one slate this year where he's been one slate since June, since he's been over $8,000. So I will not be paying, safe to say, will not be paying the $9,000 price tag against Philly. Unfortunately, Tobias Myers is in this tough spot because I really like the pitcher. I really don't like the spot.
Second straight start against Arizona.
Yeah, and obviously the first one was going really well until it wasn't.
Yeah.
And that's kind of Arizona's offense in a nutshell. And conversely, Brandon Pfaadt, also second straight start against Milwaukee. He got absolutely hammered, and he has
said bet a stretch for Mr. Brandon Pfaadt. It's not quite fighting for us here right now, you know?
No. This seems like fatigue for a guy who's definitely not pitched 166 innings in the major league level.
Yeah.
And they just keep running him out there, which is, not great.
Get our house got 4 innings, today. So
that's true. Probably not going to go 87 to Pfaadt. I think Brian Bayo is very interesting. He's going to definitely end this year kind of on a better note than it was going for a little while.
Yeah.
There's obviously
he might win 16 games, by the time.
He actually may win 16 games. He's going to make 30 starts. He's going to throw 170 innings. Obviously he's right around a strikeout per inning. I would say that's the most inconsistent part.
Yeah.
He's figured out the home runs that he had going on earlier, right? He is
one homer in the last 7 starts.
I mean, dude, when you are an extreme ground ball pitcher, you just can't give up home runs like he was. And he finally realized that, right?
Yeah.
So I definitely have interest here in Brian Bayo. I think he's probably the best mid-tier play.
Of Bayo probably would be changed if the Red Sox had any other good starting pitching, but they need and are relying on Bayo to be that next upcoming top 2 type starter. And he's just not there yet, right? He just turned 25. Another next year, maybe he'll be great. But this year, he kind of is where he's at. But I'm with you there. You get to Bayo, you got Luis Ortiz on the road against St. Louis, Fetty on the other side of that matchup against Pittsburgh. Maybe you'd go there. Littell, Ryan Perio had 10 Ks today. Corbin, Taijuan Walker, Assad. I showed you his splits the other day. He's got a full 1.5 xFIP higher than his ERA, and then Jesus Suarez back in the rotation. So small slate, bad pitching problems, man.
Yeah, I would probably give Fetty a look. Sonny Gray's actually running into some issues as we record, which is such a fun time for some people involved. But O'Neal Cruz missed another game. I mean, if O'Neal Cruz is not playing, Pittsburgh's lineup just has issues, right? They are very shorthanded.
He homered off Lynn last night. Did he get hurt in that game?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
He missed the Wednesday lineup, the Wednesday game. So
sure.
We'll see if he's in the lineup Thursday. If he's not, it's just such a condensed lineup. So Fetty's fine. Yeah, I mean, Zach Little is pitching well for what it's worth. I mean, 11 score innings,
against Baltimore, Cleveland, both on the road.
both on the road, 3 of the last 4, and Houston was the third of that like really good stretch. I would say the one thing we worry about with all Tampa pitching, because Kevin Cash is the manager, they're all just so I mean they're just on such a short leash. So
guy threw 89 pitches, 6 innings of shutout baseball, and they pulled him. So
won in the start before, and they're just like, nah, we'll just move to the pen and go like matchup based. So I would say both those guys are fine. No interest. I mean, Taijuan Walker has been one of the worst pitchers in baseball. I have a lot of interest in the Mets in this spot, but I mean, you mentioned it. I would probably consider Assad. Not a high strikeout guy, which is why we'll always get him at a discount.
Mm-hmm.
That's not like that rarely changes. He just doesn't miss a lot of bats. I think he's
got high whip
7. Yeah, I mean he's not a like an elite pitcher by any means, but he is
getting by.
Yeah, he's getting by, and he is really cheap on a slate where a lot of the pitching is question marks anyway. So if you're looking to spend up somewhere like offensively, then I can see a decision going to Assad as your SP2.
Sure. Catcher. It's obviously a smaller slate, so the options here are a bit also smaller, but the way we talked about with Brandon Pfaadt, would you take a look at Gary Sanchez at 36 here?
I would take a look at both Milwaukee catchers. I mean, including William Contreras, who's been amazing lately. So I would realistically look at either catcher. Obviously, Sanchez is the value option. I mean, he's $1,200 cheaper. Yeah. So I'm good with El Gary. I'm really good with Francisco Alvarez if he's in the lineup here. That's really appealing. Yanir Diaz continues to just be a good baseball player. If you want to pay 4,500 against Suarez, you mentioned he's re-entering the rotation. How many times has he re-entered the rotation? We know what he is. Like we've watched him start for so many years. That part of the equation like doesn't change. He's just not a good starting.
And definitely not against Houston. Like their lefties hit lefties well, their righties hit lefties well. So.
Yeah. And then Gabe Moreno looked really good in his series against in Coors. He only played 2 of the 3 games, but he had multi-hit outings in each of them. And then, this is a spot possibly going back to Cubs just because we have Patrick Corbin on the other side.
Sure.
Maybe slight hat tip to Victor Caratini, who's now like just fallen to 2,300. When Caratini's in the lineup, they'll hit him like 6th, right? Like So I mean, $2,300 catcher hitting 6th is somewhat appealing.
Okay. First base, Harper versus Severino's $5,700. Christian Walker, Pete Alonso, Brandon Lau, 47. Not your typical loaded first base position that we've had over the last couple of larger slates here. 4K and up, I guess we'll do the cutoff here. Any one particular player stand out to you?
I mean, I said it about the Mets. I really think Alonso and the Mets are in for a big day. Taijuan Walker has been one of the worst pitchers in baseball across all of baseball. He has been dreadful. Obviously booted from the rotation for an extended period of time since returning. He's making his return to the rotation. John, this year against righties, 16% strikeout rate. I mean, he's 36 years old, I think. Like, he is just at the end of his career. 274 ISO, 419 WOBA. That's a year stat. 637 pitches thrown against right-handed pitching or right-handed bats. A lot of pitches, and a lot of them, when you have a 274 ISO allowed and a 419 WOBA, a lot of them getting hit really hard and out of the ballpark. So I think Pete Alonso is destined for a home run here, especially if you're talking about no strikeout equity there. Like if he's making contact, he is live to homer. So probably Alonso for me would be the guy there. And I'm not afraid in current form, Michael Busch. We saw it in, I think it was the core slate where he double donged. I'm pretty sure that was lefty. So I'm not against going to Michael Busch either.
Okay. Casas is cheaper than Connor Wong, but he does have a double on Tuesday. He homered on or double on Wednesday. He homered on Tuesday. So like maybe he's starting to round into form. He's not a $3,900 hitter.
No.
So I wouldn't mind giving Casas a look if you're going there. After that, maybe Bowers or Hoskins, 35 and 31.
Yeah, they're like it's a bunch of like punt options. Gallo, Tellez, Baker, Bowers, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Like it's just all a bunch of like punts that you could probably fit into your stack. Like you could probably talk yourself into using any of those guys. If you're using like a Ronda who's been good against righties. Like if you're using Pittsburgh, you could play Tellez. If you're using Washington, you could use Gallo or Chaparro. So
Sure.
it's all just fit your stack type plays.
Agreed. Second base, obviously you have some good matchups up top. Marte and Altuve, 58 for Marte, 49 for Altuve versus a lefty there. Bryson Stotson, somebody I know you've liked, depending on the matchup. Nico Horner's 4K against Patrick Corbin. If you're looking to sort of spend up, I think those are some of the options for us here.
What do you think of Footgate?
I mean, listen.
Clearly fouled it off his foot.
I don't know why those things aren't reviewed. They are reviewable.
Yeah.
Like you can challenge it. They either didn't or the umpires wouldn't let them.
Blatantly off his foot. No, like blatantly off his foot.
Seemed that way, and then you showed the toe to the guy, and they didn't care. So
he was. You take your shoe off, and you're getting thrown out. That was undoubtedly happening.
That seems to be the truth, right?
I'm interested. I think Altuve's probably the top spend up here for me. I'm definitely all in on Houston in the spot, home against the pitcher making his return, plus the Angels bullpen, right? It's not like if Suarez isn't extended, well, like he threw 55 pitches, right?
Yeah.
In his second outing back. Well, he's not going to be extended. Then we get the Angels bullpen after him. That's super appealing. So I think Altuve, I like Bryce Terang in current form. I think he makes a lot of sense in a
he's definitely heating up. Stolen bases, he got 44, man. Like
it's crazy. I know it's crazy.
Didn't have that one on my bingo card this year.
No. And then Nico Horner at $4,000, another Cub who's just raking right now. Yeah. This was the guy last year. You and I were did a lot of like joking around last year with the Nico Horner home runs.
Yeah.
Where it seemed like he hit like way more home runs than any person on the planet thought, except you and I. We were all in on Nico Horner power. But he's just really good right now. And obviously another guy who steals a lot of bases. So I think there is interest in the 4K tier overall. But with all that said, Brendan Donovan, 34, homered again on the Wednesday slate. Jose Tena, 3,300 now with multi-position eligibility. Those two would probably be priorities for me. So, I mean, you can spend up, but also those two values.
Ortiz is back to like
not being good.
Well, so sort of like his averages on Fangraphs aren't terrible, right? Like, you go look over on his last 5 starts, right? Or 5 appearances rather for Luis Ortiz.
Luis L. Ortiz.
Yeah. Luis L. Ortiz. Like not left-handed hitters against him over the last 5 starts. 186 batting average, 267 WOBA. Now he's still giving up a 1.6 homer per 9, and his xFIP is 480. So like definitely getting lucky, but like he's just holding them down, So like, I agree with you. I like the Brendan Donovan was the first thing I looked at because there was also a stretch early this year where we looked at it and he was getting hammered by these guys. But now like he's sort of getting some better batted ball luck in his favor. Long way to say I probably agree with you. I'd probably still end up landing on Brendan Donovan there, but surprising to see the numbers again sort of back in Ortiz's favor there with some recent overall production.
Just to your point, by the way, and I know you said like it was bad early in the year, then he hit that stretch where he was pitching well.
Yeah.
Like yearly data, 212 ISO to left-handed batters, 355 expected WOBA. right? 298 WOBA, 355 expected. So there is obviously a lot of luck attached to that. 92 or 91 exit velocity for lefties. That's high for like an entire season against a pitcher. That's a lot of hard contact.
Agreed. Yeah, so I like him at 34. Any other cheap values that you'd be looking at? You put any weight into Nick York getting called up?
He did also have please hold, because he's one of the reasons Sonny Gray. He had a RBI single and a stolen base this evening as well off Sonny Gray.
I think it was last year or 2 years ago. He was a top 30 prospect in baseball, and then struggled a little bit as he got elevated. But he was really good at AAA for Boston. They moved him for basically nothing. Quinn Priester, they basically swapped project prospects and hoped that it would come up, but a good hit tool.
Was it the Priester? Was this the Priester deal? This was in the Priester deal.
And Quinn Priester's actually started to turn it around at Worcester, but they have him throwing only his slider. James, shocker of all shocks, right? Red Sox having their pitchers throw only breaking balls. It's pretty much just only throwing sliders.
Well, he throws an 88-mile-an-hour fastball. It's probably not going to work too well.
So Nick York at $2,400 again. Yeah, sure. Good prospect. He has some opportunities to be productive. So third base up at the top, Devers, Vientos, Suarez, Bregman, Bohm, Wilson, Paredes, and Caminero. Your 4K and up tier.
So Devers probably just shouldn't be playing. I mean, the shoulders are probably just they're just dead at this point, right? Yeah. He just doesn't look good. Vientos, maybe signs of life here, John. 2 for 3 currently on the
they're routing slate. Washington right now.
Absolutely routing Washington. He is 2 for 3. So maybe, we're seeing signs of life out of Vientos. Definitely okay with Eugenio in an Arizona stack. Love Bregman, even though he's been better against righties, and he's just kind of lately. You've said it a couple times. Isaac Paredes has been really good. Not with the power. There hasn't been power, which is what he's been kind of known for the last couple of years. But he's been really good just as a hitter, getting on base a lot too. 20 times.
Really good against lefties.
Really good against lefties. Yeah. So Paredes is definitely interesting. And then Caminero, always live for a home run. Not like my favorite spot because Bayo's not giving up home runs. But Caminero has as much power as anybody across the game. So.
Yes. But the ball sounds different.
No, it's so different.
Off of his bat there.
So different.
Value-wise, nothing really here at shortstop. I mean, third base. I don't know if Patrick Wisdom cracks the lineup. Maybe you do the GPP dart that he connects off of Corbin here, but I don't know.
Maybe you're being contrarian with Wagaman, who's hitting in the middle of he's hitting in the middle of their lineup. Gets the righty lefty spot. I don't think the Angels are necessarily a terrible play overall. Because I think Kikuchi's going to have a lot of ownership attached to him, just given how bad the pitching slate is. It's not like Yusei Kikuchi hasn't been lit up or hasn't given up home runs. He gives up a lot of home runs. In fact, he's given up 24 of them this year.
We're about to hit a shortstop that hits lefties really well, and we know there's an outfielder that hits lefties
as well as basically anybody in baseball.
That's fair. Speaking of shortstop here, Lindor, I don't think is playing, right? So
he did not play again, but he's unlikely to play Thursday as well. So we're gonna probably get Luis Angel Acuna.
So we have Turner at 59 if you want to go there, but we also then have that mid tier that we were talking about. Adames at home versus a righty, a righty that's giving up a lot of everything right now. And Brandon Font, $4,600. Nato hammers left-handed pitching. Dude. $4,500. Swanson, 43 against Corbin. Pena, Suarez, 41. So, I don't think you can go wrong with anybody from Adams to Pena. I might even rank them as they're listed in price. So,
that is an elite mid-tier shortstop. We have not been able to say that for a little while.
Right.
All in elite splits. I mean, Adames, best potential spot that he could be in. Zach Neto is a lefty masher. Andrew Swanson is a lefty masher. Jeremy Pena, for everyone else other than me, is a lefty masher. So Yeah, I'd probably agree on the ranking. If you're, I you know what? Maybe I swap Dansby for ahead of NATO because I think I like the Cubs a little bit more. But like as a one-off, NATO probably just has more upside. But in a stack, I think Swanson's
Yeah, I
probably.
mean NATO's got the stolen bases, right?
Yeah, true.
Swanson doesn't really have that. So value tier, Story hit his second homer today. He's 35.
Big
Mention
Angel.
Acuna,
Yeah.
obviously, right there, 33.
Hit RBI run scored. Still game to go, right?
Yep.
So they're not raising his price. He is being productive every day. We haven't even seen the wheels really yet. So yeah, I'm perfectly fine there.
Sure. Value, nothing really down here.
Nothing. I
Nothing.
mean,
Not
Acuna is,
literally nothing down there. All right. Schwarber is your top priced outfielder here. You have the Houston guys both hit lefties really well. Corbin Carroll double donged on Wednesday's slate. You had Bellinger, Reynolds. Where are we looking to start things here?
I mean, you could hard not to like the Houston guys because even after, I mean, you said it, they both hit lefties well, and then you get a awful Angels bullpen, so probably there. I don't mind like Schwarber, I don't mind Duran. Both of them kind of, not Schwarber as much, but Duran's definitely sputtering a little bit. Corby's obviously been amazing. Good with playing Cody Bellinger, lefty. He's fine there. Good with playing James Wood. And then you start dipping below. Like, I love Seiya Suzuki. I
Sure.
feel like I've said that every Cubs slate for the last month, but it feels like the Cubs are in a good spot every single night, and
Yeah.
Seiya's been good every single night. So, love Seiya. Can say the exact same thing about a next few guys. Dylan Cruz has shown a really high ceiling lately because he's stealing a lot of bases. Jock Peterson obviously has the power. Taylor Ward continues to be awesome atop that lineup. He's great against left-handed pitching. So if you want to literally you don't even have to full stack the Angels. You could just play 1-2, right? Just play the Ward NATO top stack and you move on. Dude, Ian Happ double dong the other day. Ian Happ's going to end up getting close to 30 home runs and another like 50 or 15
Right.
stolen bases. 85 ribbies for Ian
So
Happ.
he's going to be a 90, 25, 90 guy this year. Like,
Yeah, it's crazy with 15 steals too. Like Ian Happ is a great play.
Chorio.
Nimmo woke up. Nimmo hit a home run on Wednesday. Chorio's great. Josh Lowe is super great because he will get on and steal a base. PCA, I don't mind. I mean, there is no shortage of outfield plays here.
Yeah.
Even when you go,
Marsh has been really good lately.
Marsh has been really good. Winker, Newt Bar got thrown out of Wednesday's game, but
He didn't. They actually just updated it. It was the hitting coach that got ejected.
So Newt Bar did not get thrown out. Newt Bar survived. He survived the ejection
Somehow, yeah.
Okay, sure. So salute to Lars Nootbaar for not being ejected.
Yeah. Garrett Mitchell's 32.
Garrett Mitchell 32. I don't think. Wait, where's Haven Smith? Outfield only 3K. I mean, that dude is super good. He's
really good for whenever they decide to put him in their lineup, and then they send him down to AAA for half the year.
Well, I think like with Lourdes hurt, and obviously Lourdes is going to be back at some point. I think it was very telling. He played against a lefty, right? In that final game at Coors on Wednesday, he started against a lefty. I think that's all you need to know right now. If Pavin Smith is starting against a lefty, they are comfortable playing Pavin Smith really against anybody. So if he's in the lineup here, I don't expect, even if Lourdes is back, I'd assume he would play over Grishik.
Sure.
I think Pavin Smith hitting in the middle of that lineup is kind of a must at $3,000.
Sure. Jordan Walker against Ortiz, 3K.
Yep.
Anything else for you down here?
Another Angel like Campero, who's played 3 straight days. He had a stolen base. He hit a bunch of stolen bases in the minors. Like he's $2,100. Angels are just, I mean, they're so cheap, right? So if you want to play them, they're
alrighty. Pitching then. Let's go get our lineup build going here. Not a lot of great options. So
we do not have to spend up, right? I think you and I both have a lot of interest in Ward Nato to like stay away from Kikuchi. I also am good with playing Kikuchi if we don't play those guys. I'm
So you
good.
want to
I
go like
think
Bayo and Fetty here?
yeah,
Or?
I think Bayo Fetty would probably be the other pairing that you and I would realistically go to because I don't really know where else we would. Assad, but even Assad has obviously
Yeah, a
question
lot of
marks, right?
questions there. Yep. All right, catcher. Then do we just plug in someone against? Do you like Amaya? Do you like Gabe Moreno against Myers?
Yeah, I mean Alvarez 3,500 as well. I think is a pretty good play. Just he's been really good of
Yeah,
late.
I'm good with that. That works. All right, we'll talk like Ward. Right, Ward Nato.
Yeah, Ward. Yeah, let's do Ward Nato.
Or did we want Adonis?
If we're not playing Kikuchi, I feel like it'd be worth it for us to play the Angels, right? Because he's going to be the most popular pitcher on the slate, and we're stacking against him. So saving at second base to like Donovan.
Yeah, Donovan. Yep, for sure. Third base. Do we get our Paredes and Seiya here?
Yeah.
$4,300.
Yeah, we're just off Ian Happ in that lineup. Sucks.
Yeah. We can go down off Donovan. Is there?
Yeah.
York. Playing Fetty.
Well, we're playing Fetty.
Yeah. Drury? I know he's been terrible, but
he's been
a little better. He homered the other day.
Slightly, right? He has been slightly better. Ever so slightly better recently. Yeah.
All right. So we'll rock Brandon Drury for the power upside here.
Okay.
Bayo, Fetty, Alvarez, Alonso, Drury, Paredes, Nato, Ward, Seiya, and Happ. Angel stack, Met stack, Cubs stack, Bayo and Fetty. It is 6 games, ladies and gentlemen, so it is a smaller player pool. Play lightly. Be ready for your football on Thursday. Be ready for your bigger slates for MLB on Friday here. Have some fun with the MLB DFS slate, 6 games here on Thursday. We have the 7-day free trial still going on. Fanstarm.com/win. Promo code Let's Go gets you that first month after your 7-day free trial for less than $20. So check that out. QR code there on the screen. Fanstarm.com/win. Promo code Let's Go. James and I will be back for the Friday preview show. Till then, everybody, good luck. We'll catch you later.